Hi, I'm meteorologist Tony Petrarca in the Pinpoint 12 Forecast Center. You've clicked on the Weather Now link on this Wednesday evening, about 9:45, late night update. Still under a pinpoint weather alert for a high impact storm for later Thursday night and into Friday. It's tranquil in Providence right now. And here's what to expect as far as rain and wind. Looking at 1 to 3 inches of soaking rain, especially Thursday night into Friday. The wind gust potential is what we're most concerned with here. It's going to be anywhere from 45 to 65 miles per hour. Strongest at the south coast, the lower part of the bay, southeastern Massachusetts. I would say scattered outages are likely, some street flooding, and some coastal flooding too. We'll get to that in just a second. But the power outage risk, I think it's at least a moderate risk. As far as the coverage, statewide remains to be seen, but getting more and more concerned that we're going to see some scattered power outages. I'm going to go with a moderate risk here. Gusts between 50 and 65 statewide. First out of the south on Friday, then turning southwest Friday evening for all areas. You want to stay tuned for updates on this. Of course, very busy time of year. The areas in red, Rhode Island, southeastern Mass, a high wind warning. That's where the strongest winds will be located, gusts between 50 and 65. In Connecticut, it's a wind advisory, but high impact wind there as well, gusts between 40 and 55 miles per hour. And again, that is late Thursday night, and that would take us into all the Friday as well. All right, coastal flood watch. We're most concerned about the early morning high tide on Friday around 7 a.m. It's already an astronomically high tide, regardless of whether a storm was coming. We were going to have an astronomically high tide, and then we couple it with a storm with some strong onshore winds. We may be we're talking about perhaps a surge of water of 1 to 2 feet above mean high tide. So there may be some minor to moderate coastal flooding. This is early Friday morning, something that we'll watch closely, but certainly big surf, strong waves, and some erosion along the south shore when you have that strong onshore wind on Friday morning. So impacts, here we go. Heavy rain, high likelihood of that. Strong winds, high likelihood of that. Power outages, moderate risk at least, and flooding due to heavy rain and high tide at a moderate risk as well. So here's a satellite radar composite, and we're watching system diving out of the northern plains, moisture across the southeast. Both will sort of work in tandem and merge, and we'll get a developing storm and an intensifying storm across the Great Lakes, and that will help to produce some of the strong wind and send back some very heavy rain. When we take this into the future, now this is Thursday morning, it is dry, but draw your attention to this moisture across the mid-Atlantic. This is headed our way for the evening commute. Now, early Thursday evening doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's raining at 7, 8 o'clock, but the real heavy rain and strong wind is going to be reserved for later Thursday night. And in the meantime, you see this storm starting to intensify with a strong, very strong cold front. This is across the Great Lakes. When we jump ahead to Friday morning, this intensifying storm is sitting across the Great Lakes. We've got very heavy rain and wind for the morning commute. And then we take you into Friday morning, still some rain and wind. This is around 1 o'clock Friday afternoon. Strong cold front coming through right in here with heavy rain and some strong wind. But boy, this front really means business as far as knocking down the temperature. As it swings through, the temperature really tumbles behind the front. In fact, give you a different perspective here. Look at the temperature Friday morning, 7 a.m., 61 degrees. Look at the Arctic cold front and that frigid air to the west of it. And that colder air is sweeping through Friday evening and Friday night. We go from 61 degrees at 7 a.m. Friday to 18 degrees by 11 o'clock Friday night. A lot of rain. Generally, it's 2-3 inches of soaking rain in that late Thursday night, Friday time frame. So for Thursday morning, it looks fine. There's really no weather issues. Increasing clouds, a little bit of sun in the morning. Becoming mostly cloudy during the afternoon. By 5, 6 o'clock, maybe a light shower, but nothing really significant. And then we ramp up both rain and wind intensity again late Thursday night and especially into Friday. Early call now on the holiday weekend. Friday night is frigid and windy with some scattered snow showers. Christmas weekend looks dry, both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but very windy and very, very cold. In fact, temperatures even during the daytime, Saturday and Christmas Sunday, never getting above freezing. All right, that's your latest Weather Now update. Thanks for logging in.